Good morning, everybody. I am Alana Begum, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Jorhat, Dr. Nobin Borle College, Jorhat, Assam. Today, I am going to present about a poem named Where the Mind is Without Fear by the great poet Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861, Calcutta. He was a poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter. He won Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1913 because of his profoundly sensitive phrase and beautiful verse by which, with consummate skill, he has made his poetic thought expressed in his own English words a part of the literature of the West. This poem is poem number 72 of Rabindranath Tagore's poetical work Naivedya, which was published in the Bengali year 1308. The poem was translated into English by the poet himself. It was included with 15 other poems of Naivedya in the English version of Gitanjali, which was first issued on November 1, 1912, for which he won Nobel Award in 1913. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear is about the true freedom. According to the poet, true freedom is an inner possession of man and it can be realized only God's help. It means moral and spiritual uplift of the people under divine guidance. Freedom should give India courage and should induce her people to pursue the path of knowledge and truth. It should liberate her from narrow prejudices and make her people sincere in word and action. Now I want to read the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragmented by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. What the lines of the poem say that in the poet starts to imagine what he would like his country to be like. He says that no countryman of his should live with fear on his mind and at all time. Instead, they should hold their heads up fearlessly and have confidence in themselves. Knowledge and should be available to all citizens, that is, educational institutes should admit students all races and classes, all the various regions of India, and their people should be united instead of fighting among themselves for supremacy. They should fight together against a common enemy to determine their common fate. Again, the poet says that everyone should speak the truth of India, of his dreams. No person should lie for his own advantage. Every man should make an effort to improve himself and keep trying to till he reaches a stage of self-perfection. Next, he imagines the region to be an unsullied stream of water through which one can progress easily and without encountering too many obstacles. On the other hand, he imagines the habit of being a desert. The stream of reason seems to him to be lost in the sense of habit. This means that he is saying that the people of his country blindly believe in their superstitions at present, and he would like them to question these beliefs through the application of logic. The poet speaks directly to God. He wants his countrymen to be led by him so that they broaden the horizon of both their thoughts and their actions. If they were to do so, then India would be transformed into heaven, heaven where all the citizens would be truly free. I would like to present a PPT about the poem. The first slide of the PPT says about the poet, which is that his countrymen, the Indians, should be free from all sorts of fear. They should be able to live and think independently and fearlessly. The people hold their heads high with self respect and dignity. Next slide shows where all have equal opportunities to gain knowledge without any distinction. Next slide shows that where the people are not divided into small groups on the basis of their caste, creed, language, region, etc. Where the next slide shows is about where people speak from their conscience, where people are honest and truthful. Next slide shows where people never feel tired of making fresh efforts to improve themselves and which achieve perfection in all fields of life. This slide shows that where all antiquated customs, lifeless habits, blind beliefs, and superstitions will be abolished and clear reason will reign. In the next slide, the poet thinks that where people will be inspired by God to pursue their ever expanding thought. In the last slide, the poet shows the passionately prays to God to lead his country to such a heaven of freedom, where spiritual outlook, universal brotherhood, free education, unity, peace, truthful reason, love, lofty thoughts, and noble actions will reign supreme. The poet is dissatisfied with the present state of his country. He invokes God to awaken his motherland with a rude shock and make his country an ideal place. With God's help, the country and the men and women of India will get true freedom. For this, Indians must be fearless in mind and dignified in conduct. There must not be any barrier to the search for knowledge, and truth. Indians must be free from all narrow habits and dead customs. There must not be narrow divisions in the way of the realization of human unity. Indians must be frank and truthful and must strive tirelessly to achieve perfection in an ever expanding field of thought and action. They must be sincere in word and deed based on clear reason and deed based on clear reason. The poet phrased that with God's our motherland will achieve this true freedom of mind and spirit and not merely the freedom from foreign rule. Rabindranath Tagore was a true patriot. He was never a narrow nationalist. To him, love of God and love of the people are complementary to each other, and these two justify and fulfill each other. Religion and patriotism reinforce each other. No more today. Thank you.